Hi Matthew, and hi to anyone else at Tunbridge who's going to be watching this video because they want to learn a bit more about running at university and how the structure of races compares to when you're at school. I'm Phoebe and I'm one of TAC's takeaway mentors for the new scheme that Mark set up. I just wanted to say a big thank you to Mark for facilitating this scheme because hopefully it provides some of you younger athletes with a bit more information. And also I've really enjoyed reflecting on some of my favourite school races and university races that I looked at when I was composing this answer. So the specific question that I'm going to be answering today is, how does the structure of races compare to ones from when you were at school, such as Coventry, the Knoll Run, the English Schools Cup, and then also what was my experience of running in general at university. So I was at Sevenoaks School, so competed in all those races that you gave as examples, and I'm now at Cambridge in my third year, so I've had a few seasons there to kind of get the feel of what that's like before COVID hit and started cancelling everything. The big difference with Cambridge races compared to anything that I ever did when I was at school is the size of the fields. In addition to the sort of big normal races like BUCS, and then the Met League is our equivalent to the Kent League, which Stuart talks a bit about when he's in his Loughborough video, because they also have a league up there. So I won't go into that too much because you can go and watch that if you want to learn more about sort of national leagues. So these small field races include cuppers, which is the inter-college race. So that's literally just like an inter-house race at school where you only end up racing people from Cambridge. We also have the RAF match, which is where a team of Cambridge athletes race the RAF and also the Eastern Counties. And then we also have Varsity, which is literally 8 Cambridge versus 8 Oxford. And so tactics start to come into it a bit, because if you're gaining a point, you're literally taking it away from Oxford, so you know exactly where your points are coming and being taken from. I'm not sure if any other universities have such a strong varsity sort of competition as we do. I think Leeds might do one against Leeds Beckett, and I know that there's quite a strong rivalry between Bristol and Bath, and then also St Andrews and Edinburgh, but I'm not sure if those last two have specific races. But all three of those races occur before Christmas. So Michaelmas at Cambridge is quite a busy racing term. You're only there for 8 weeks, and so by the time you spent 3 weekends racing those 3 races, and sometimes come back for Tunbridge races such as National Road Relays or the Southern Road Relays, and then maybe dotted in a couple of Kent Leagues if you've gone home, or done the Met League if you're in Cambridge, you can end up racing most weekends. That being said, it still feels less busy than racing at school, because you never have that race for school on Wednesday, then race for Tunbridge on Saturday. After Christmas, we then only really focus on the BUCS, which is the university cross-country race that every university takes part in. That normally occurs the first weekend of February, so falls quite nicely between Southerns and Nationals. And aside from being an absolutely huge race, it's a really fun weekend to get away with the team. So you've definitely got to do that, and don't miss out on that when you get to university. In terms of the track, because universities finish so early, and also that's exam term, not much track racing happens in Cambridge. We do have varsity and we do send people to BUCS, but we don't put on any open meets or anything like that. But to be honest, because term finishes literally early June, end of May, you can still come back and do all the sort of normal races that you used to do when you were at school, so Tunbridge Open Meets, BMC, etc. So I hope that covers all the stuff on racing. I guess my 2 points to take away from that would be that it's probably less busy than you were at school, and it's still possible to do all the Tunbridge races, so don't worry about it. And all the extra races that you get from being at university are really, really fun. So moving on to my general experience of running at university. The best part is definitely the community and all the friends I've made from it, especially if you're not on a vocational course and not at a collegiate university. I think runners basically just become your friends, so all your friends run, and you meet a lot of people who are like you, and that's really, really fun and really nice, and you end up having a really good social side to it as well. So we do fun house parties. Well, we used to, if COVID still allows that to ever happen again. and you'd go out and you'd have socials. They're not all alcohol based. You don't have to drink at all. In fact, our sort of initiations sometimes are literally just who can drink the most water. So don't worry about that, because I know that's quite often a concern for some people. We often just do a lot of sort of food nights where everyone brings some sort of food along a theme, and you end up with 30 random dishes all in someone's house, all tightly squeezed in, but it's really good fun. The other good side about running at university, which isn't the same as home, is that you've always got someone to run with. I probably didn't learn a route until halfway through my second year at Cambridge, because I just never ran alone. I was always running with someone else. And so I just didn't really have to concentrate, because I just always followed on where someone else was taking me. I did quite often be like, right, I need to learn a route now, so please help me, and then we'd get distracted chatting. So it was my own fault really, but it is the really good fun side of it. So I think that's pretty much everything, and I hope that's helped answer some of your questions that you may have had. I'm more than happy to speak to you again if you've got more specific questions or want to get back in touch with me through Mark, whether it's about studying at Cambridge in general or running or anything else that I might be able to help with.